So in our last episode, we built this great community center as well as our child healthcare center. And then if we come up and look, this great park, which is getting lots of usage. However, what we're seeing here is a small problem, and that is of land values. So if we come and have a look, we can see most of the land values are average at best. Really weak over here, really great, of course, by the water, and once again, getting weak over here. In fact, there's very few homes that are actually in the American Eclectic Pack that have leveled up past the construction stage. And we have the Sheffield residence here as one of them. But even this residence isn't doing too well, but let's have a look at its neighbor over here. If we look at their neighbor here, we can see the fact that there's no health care, no death care, no fire departments, and no police departments serving this area. Education, we have an elementary school in the area, so that's helping, and a high school just across the river. No universities yet, no public transport. Basically, an okay-ish neighborhood to live in, but we can do better. So if we come out, and let's close that. We have a large area to develop, including this area here, where we are going to put some services, but I do want to come over here and put in an area that will take care of some of them. So we're going to mix back and forth between taking care of adding some services over here, and the reason for that is right by this interchange, not the most valuable of land. And I think it'd be great to put in some stuff that, we'd like away from the community. Now, we will develop along this area here as well. And our plan today is to try to take care of as much as this very high demand for residential zoning. So what I'm going to do now is first we're going to lay out some roads and get this area set up for development, as well as a small commercial area that will take care of some of our needs. So let's get at it. Now that we've got our neighborhood kind of laid out, I'll probably add some pathways in through here because these are, we're actually going to cut and put a road through here that will connect to that. And in fact, I'll probably have to plop some houses in here because it is definitely a little tighter than I want it. But I definitely want to have no homes actually on this collector. I want all the driveways to run off of this road here. And I have some plans to put some things up here as well. But you will have noticed I put this little stub here, and this is because this is where I want to start a little community center of commercial and some other things to deal with some of the needs. So we're going to start by putting, whoa, Undo, undo. And we will see how this turns out. I'm going to come back. I think we'll actually leave it off of that because that, let's turn off road guidelines, grid, nothing but angle at this point. There we go. So now that we have this in here, let's look at some of the assets and things we need to put in. So first off, we do need to take care of our healthcare needs. So we have a number of assets we could look at putting in, including this great little guy here. However, the one I want to put in, see if we can find it. Yeah. So we don't want to add any hospitals or thing of that nature. That's too big for this area. We're going to add this family medicine one in here, capacity of 100. So we're going to put the family center right here, and right next to it, let's go find a Shoppers Drug Mart that I have, an asset I've downloaded. And let's remove this tree. We're going to use move it, and we're going to pull this right up. So there we go, Shoppers Drug Mart right on the corner. Right next to it, we are going to put the family center, which is perfect. Obviously, you get treatment, and then you can go get whatever prescriptions filled right next to it. So with those two main units in there, let's put in some parking. And obviously, we are going to start with some regular parking. Oh, sorry, some handicap parking. Put some regular one in. So find the door. So I think we're good. It's about here, and this is where we will put in some more handicap parking, and then finish it off with some regular parking. And we'll just come back over on this side. And we will add all the parking that we need. So hopefully this begins to deal with some of the more immediate needs that we have. Now, this can also be a great little gathering space for others. So we've got this. So let's deal with some other issues that we have, and we can add a library. Now, we do have, this great big asset that we can add, which is from the vanilla game, and it's jumping around, which is, I think, far too big for this little community area. This is another asset. Once again, I think this is way too big. However, we do have this one. Now, I might have not left enough space. Let's place it. Let's have a look. Oh, well, almost. Almost. I think we can deal with this by one of two ways, including just nudging this forward. There we go. So now we have a community library here as well, which I think is great. So if we come over, hopefully we're starting to see, yeah, so we can start to see the healthcare needs being taken care of, as well as, well, maybe we don't have one specific for library. I thought we did. We have post office, which we will deal with. So I think this just helps with regular education. So we will leave that there for sure. And now we'll come in. So now we want to come in and add some assets or some other commercial assets. So I do have this CIBC bank, being Canadian, although I don't actually bank at this particular bank. I do think this would be a very nice thing to have in the community. Place it next to the library. We are going to have to get rid of, let's just make sure, yeah, there is no specific drive-through, but we will come in into Bob and remove the parking spaces. So with that done, we'll come back in and let's have a look at some of our other commercial assets. We definitely don't want to like put anything like this. I don't think this would be here in a suburban community. Even though we're just off a collector, I don't think that's going to fit. So we do have a couple of small assets. I think these are just way too small. Like if we look at here, like that just doesn't fit. So we're gonna remove that one. Yes, goodbye. Now a Dunkin' Donuts. I think that's a great option. Now I think the issue with this asset, yeah, this has a drive-through. So we're not gonna put that here. We don't have the space for it. But I do think we would see something like a Five Guys. So let me go through these and let me find a few assets that I think would fit this area. Okay, so we have things figured out now. There's definitely more detailing to do around here, which I'll do a little later. But I have a Sobeys, which is a Canadian grocery store, CIBC, which is a Canadian bank, public library asset. Now, to deal with all the healthcare issues, I have decided to add the Vision Works, which does provide a healthcare benefit, as well as this family medicine clinic, and the Shoppers Direct Mart, which is general commercial. But in theory, from a community point of view, not only does this have small bits of groceries here in Canada, but as a pharmacy, obviously you can get any prescriptions that you need. And it's got a great corner view here. So this is definitely the type of spot that Shoppers Drug Mart would like. And we do have a whole bunch of accessible parking throughout this parking lot. So things are slowly improving here. Healthcare is going up, but we have yet to deal with our fire access as well as our police department. So let's deal with part of that now. So over here, we are going to come in and take a rural country road. Sorry, I'm looking specifically for a 2-lane country highway. We are going to first come off here at a 90. And then we are going to, actually, let's make sure we have our contour on. So we're going to climb up, that's fine. And actually, we're going to take a step back because I do want to do one thing here first. And that is level out a pad for all of the services we are about to add in this area. So we're going to level our terrain, get a small brush, slightly bigger brush. We're going to come down here, right click, and we are just going to push this back. And we're just going to come in here with soften terrain, make a slightly bigger brush, and we'll just smooth that out. Nice little hillside. So we're going to come back. Actually, we kind of overdid things here, but we should be fine. We should be fine. So straight road to start with. And then we're going to come up and curve things here. And we'll just put the road out there for now. So the next thing we're going to do is come in with a regular road with no parking. And we are going to shoot this up just on the side here. Oh. Make that straight. Now you might rethink this country lane road here, but that's good enough for now. So there are a few things I do want to add in this area. And one of them being, of course, is a police station. Now, the reason why I'm looking to add the police station here is because we're very close to the highway. And I'm thinking this is a mix of community / provincial highway policing. So in Ontario, where I live, we do have the Ontario Provincial Police, which do patrol what we call the 400 series highways. However, we also have local police for certain communities such as Ottawa and Toronto, where those are run by the city. Still never perfectly happy with some even this downloaded assets, but we will make do for sure. So I do think there are a few things that this police would have. Is first off, we would have a parking lot for visitors. So let's add in it's a pretty big parking lot there for them, but that will work. So we'll come in and get our police services, add our police department. And that is a start. But the next thing is, and I'm going to look, I don't think I have the exact asset I want to put in there for now, but we will come along the side. And that is because I do think the police officers in this type of community would have their own parking lot in the back. And this parking lot would be made up of parking for the members and the officers and the staff working at the police station, as well as police cars. So we're gonna pick, just use the move it mod. We're gonna put that right up against the building like that. And we will add the parking. So we will add a few handicap spaces in the back. So we do have a few handicap spaces, parking spaces in the back. Oh, we have a little bit of tearing. Okay, so let's see if we can fix that with move it. Might have to fix this one a little later, but let's grab all of that. We will use move it to go to train it, object height. Okay, that's good for now. Come around. Now we do need to come into this asset. We're going to use Bob again. And we are going to remove all the parking spaces. We'll look at exact positioning later when I come back to do a little more detail, but I do think I want a little more space. And I did just notice that this asset has garage doors here and here, so we're gonna have to leave some space to make sure nobody parks in front. So there we go. We have our very first police station in this area. So hopefully this begins, as you can already see, this has already jumped up and started to help this area here. Now we still don't have a fire department and we don't have death care, which we'll get to later. But there are two things I want to add in this back area. Okay, so one of them is this post sorting facility. And the reason why I want it back here is because of the amount of noise it generates. And I don't want it to disturb, obviously, in a residential area. So putting it right by this highway interchange is going to be perfect. Now I'm going to look at placing it as far back in this corner as possible. That makes sense. So I do want to come and back that up, but grab this road again. Change the road angle just slightly. Grab the curve road tool. Perfect. Oops, and we have tree anarchy on, which need to turn off. We'll come back and add some trees in later. Now we do have some parking in front, which I will leave for now, but we will add its own parking. The reason why I'm going to leave these is because I could very well see these being more of a visitors parking versus staff parking. Now, just having a look-see to make sure there's nothing I'd want to actually run a road back here for, and the answer is no. So we're good. So we'll grab the Move It mod, and I'm just going to stretch that just a bit that way. I think we're good. Now, some things I think I've probably forgotten to deal with are waters, and I think I have my notifications off, which is why nothing is screaming at me at the moment. So let's add the water pipes in because we know we need them. Yeah, no electricity. These guys are fine for water. So what we're gonna do is we will come and we'll just use a regular suburban power line for the moment. Come across and we will steal power from this area here. So now that we have our police station and our post sorting facility, let's add our road maintenance. So this is our road maintenance depot. As you can see, we do have some parking here as well. But I think we can do better because definitely what I think we would see is a storage area for all the trucks that would be here. So once again, we're going to run a parking lot that can be used for visitors. I'm going to pick this up. And we're going to rotate it. So with that there now, I think we're going to take another look at this. We will pull this out. We will put a large parking lot now. There's a lot more work to do back here, including stretching that out. So I think that's good. Now, I'm going to do something that people may not think is appropriate, but I think it would be. I think this area would have a park. Find our large, well, that's too big. So a small park. So not only should that help jump the power, I think the fact that these folks would have a spot where they could come and eat outside without a problem. So that helps solve some of our services. Now we are still needing to add in zoning, but we do need a fire station. Oh, look, see, these guys are leveling up. They're getting a lot happier, but still in need of more services. So let's continue to work on those services. Oh, and before we do the fire station, I did forget, we are looking to add one more services in here, and that is a bus depot. So let's add the bus depot in. We're not going to add, well, we may add some lines today, but the most important thing is getting a bus depot in. So we do have the option of a regular depot or the biofuel bus depot. I think we'll just put in a regular depot. So let's figure out the best spot. I think we'll take a bit of a mulligan. I am going to move this police station up so that it's in the corner, and then I will start moving some more things around. So let me deal with that, and I'll be right back. All right, so that is done. We have now placed our new bus depot right here. I moved everything down, as you can see, closer to the corner, and I have spent some time, looks like we got a save going on, decorating with trees. I have put in fences here as well to make sure things are cordoned off. I have a nice little park here, and I've actually pulled the park out a bit. I'll show you here with move it, kind of see it pulled things out and along. So it remains connected to the road, but just pushes it away from it. I filled this area in with trees. Now I do intend to come back and add some props, but I'll leave that for another day, because I would see all these type of services having, obviously this is the road maintenance. So various road maintenance for summer, winter, and all that stuff. Bus depots, a whole bunch of buses lined up for the morning shifts or the afternoon shifts. And as well, the post of having some tractor trailers here that might be parked for the bit. But I have added all the parking that we would likely need for visitors and some employees of these things here. Now, some might be slightly larger than needed, but hey ho, it's what we got. Now, I also let things run while I was building that. And as you can see, and I filled in most of this area here with housing. I've added a park here. I've added a small commercial area where having at least a post office to allow for all the stuff from the post sorting facility to get out. Nice Walgreens, a little healthcare center, restaurant, and a few stores to put here. Park in the middle again, pulled out just a bit to kind of center it with some housing around it. We're still waiting for these houses to level up. If I click on one here, there we go. See, slowly working its way up to level 3. So we're almost there. The other thing I've done as well off camera is I've added this little road here in the back, because all of these here have some access into the back. And then I've added one privacy fence for this gentleman living here, the Underhill residents, just to block that off, as well as putting some trees along here to block folks from this sauna and this community pool that I've put in. Thought that would be a good fit just around the library branch here, putting a few other services. And we have walking paths galore going through here, connecting these areas here. We are not done. Like Columbo would say, just one more thing. I did put in a fire station down here. I really like the look of this asset. This is from the workshop, obviously. Looks really nice. Car park in the back. And a small tree buffer. I haven't decided what I'm going to put here. I will eventually align this on-ramp space between the homes and the on-ramp with trees as a sound buffer. Actually, let's have a quick look at the noise. See, there's a bit of a noise coming in through here, but not too bad. Now, you'd think we were done, but no. The reason why I did a lot of that off camera... The reason why I did all that off camera is because I do want to put some condo apartments along the highway here. So the plan is we're going to take advantage of Network Multi-Tool. But before we do, we're going to use the 1U road. Use the parallel feature. Start here. And we just got to click through all of the intersections that we want. Tab, move it over. Okay, go to 20-meter distance. I think that looks good. So that's perfectly parallel. Now what I want to do is take one of these roads, connect it at 90. Let's just connect. There we go. All that connected. Now, I don't want to place, let me show you the ones I do want to use. One here. So this is the ones I want to use, but I don't want to place them right along this road here. And I also want to make sure I provide some parking. So we're going to come in here and we're going to use the 22-meter parking lot. Go back 6. And we're going to actually just do that. This one will do 5. Gonna do that for all these here. So as you can tell, we're gonna have 4 areas. So let's grab our apartments. Place them all along here. Now, obviously we're not done. There's a few things we need to do. The fact that we've got doors on this side as well, because there'd be apartments front and back. We need to make sure we do provide access. So we're going to come in our landscaping. Oops. Placed a tree. Don't want to do that yet. And we're going to use our park path. I'm going to come up further than I would need because I want to make sure and I always have a problem. I do need a new mouse badly. I want to make sure I can get the node there I want. So as you can see, the plan is to make sure we connect. Just grab and move it. And we're going to make sure that that is perfectly aligned. There we go. Perfect. So we'll get this one started. Then I'm going to show you what we're going to do in between, and then I will quickly take care of the rest. So I love this snapping. So much easier. And I think I slightly had a level. I'll have to come back and fix that. But what I want to do is add some parks in between. So this one here, we're going to find our small playground, not the dog park. There we go, small playground. Place that in between. This one we will put the dog park. Put a large playground right there. So same thing, we're gonna see if we can just take these parks, pull them back just enough. Okay, so let's just quickly get all these paths done and parking spaces installed. Okay, we're gonna do a quick fix here. This is not straight. So we're gonna try a couple of things. First, we're gonna try, wrong one. We're gonna try no controller. Now that we've got all that in, let's see if we can make this work. There we go. Now I'm actually going to take this road here, put it on freeform. Or not. She'll be a naughty. So take off. She was being naughty, so the reason why I extended that here is I think you would have the ability to at least drive this far down, you know, if you're loading stuff. So let's just get back at adding in all of our paths. So there we go. We now have a series of condo apartments, some more parks, playgrounds along here. Now, before we finish this up, we do have to take care of something, because obviously this isn't safe. And in fact, we're gonna be able to take advantage of pretty much two things at once. So we look here, there's a lot of noise coming from the highway, a lot of noise. So we're just gonna come in and install sound barriers. So let's go find those now. So first we're gonna start off with the ramps. And then we're gonna come in and get our 3-lane one-way. There we go. Come back. Connect those up, and we will just do that there as well to help. So if we come back, still a lot of noise coming from here. So what we will do to help mitigate that is place some trees. And when I say some trees, I actually mean lots of trees. So let me take care of that now. So I think that is a lot better. But before we finish things up, for now at least, that is improved. But we are going to make at least another connection here to this park. Just need to take care of this, move this back. So we have our park connected here as well. And we will just finish up by taking our forestry brush and we will just fill in this area here. Come in, just do a big there we go. So I think that's where we'll leave this particular episode. Next episode, I do have something special planned, which thankfully does not involve needing a fire department because these guys were right on it. So let me leave you with a brief city tour.